Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. It's now 10 a.m. We're here for the regular session of the Hunt County Commissioners Court. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order and ask Commissioner Smith to lead us in prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flags.
Everybody. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessings in life and all the great things that you bestowed upon us as a nation, and as a state, and as a county. We ask you to continue to guide our actions and directions as we go forward, and make sure that we make the right decisions to move us forward and honor you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. This morning we have Commissioner Money, Monroe, Smith, and Harrison present. I'm Judge Stovall presiding over the meeting today. Commissioners, you have the minutes from July 6, 2026 special session. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion for approval. Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Commissioners, we got the minutes of July 7th, 2026 special session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 5, minutes of July 9th, 2026 special session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So move. Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, we got the minutes from July 14th, 2026 regular session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So move. Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 7, minutes, July 6, 2026 special session. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Second.
You got enough votes already with just
I think we got it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We've been busy in July. At this time, we'll have public testimony. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes and should conduct themselves in a civil manner. Commissioners Court cannot take action on items not listed on the agenda in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Concerns will be addressed by county staff. They may be placed on a future agenda or addressed by some other course of response. Bob Harris.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about Fox Run Drive in Caddo Mills. I moved there in 2005, now it's 26. So in 25 years, the road has not been repaired but one time. They put oil on it and they put gravel on it about 5 years ago. And at this point, it has deteriorated to the point where I broke an axle on one of my trailers going out of the entrance to the Highway 36. There's massive holes out there. One of them's over 7 inches deep. I would like to ask the commission to maybe take some action next year and consider paving this particular road. I brought photographs that I can leave of all the problems with it, and it's very bad. That's pretty much it.
Okay, thanks, sir. Gary, is that you, or
That's me.
is it a private road or a county road?
It's a county road. Where the beat up part is on the end of the road. It's TxDOT's area. And Mr. Harris, I've explained that to him. My foreman's explained that to him. We have went and potholed the end of the road, even though it's TxDOT. But the problem is right now they redone 36. That tore it up. Now they're building a water tower there. That's even tearing the road up more. We had it on the list to chip seal this year. With all that construction, it didn't make any sense to go in there and chip seal it this year. So next year we plan to chip seal that road.
Thank you very much.
So
TxDOT will not answer my question.
they won't answer mine either, sir. Sorry.
Putting new dirt on it full length of 36.
Yes, sir.
Huge expense.
Yes, sir.
Waste money.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, anybody else wish to speak? Being none, I'll close the public testimony. Whoa. Oh, okay. We're back in public testimony then.
This is from Becky Bernardi. My public comment is in reference to the 7/7/26 and the 7/14/26 Commissioners Court sessions, in which it was stated by Mr. Ray, Hunt County Civil Attorney, that the ESD petition drawn up on 5/8/26 would have to be reviewed for any Hot Cove signatures. Judge Stovall asked several questions regarding Hot Cove being removed from the ESD and its mapping. It was stated by Attorney Ray on 7/14/26 Commissioner session that, quote, Hot Cove Council was inactive and would be cut out of the ESD and its mapping. As Mayor Pro Tem of Hot Cove, our council was not inactive. It was placed in a position of inability to act by denial of placement on our agenda. The ESD and termination of QVFD had been known by our police chief, city manager, McKean, since January 2026, and not one time was it placed on our agendas in the 6.5 months that it had been known. Not even after hiring of Angela Massey in May 2026, who's still on the board of directors of QVFD and hired as a city secretary of the city of Hot Cove. Massey was not brought before City Council on her application or placement by McKean. Our local government has been changed to city manager form of government beginning back in 2020 without the election process and done via ordinances further enacted in 2023. Hunt County Voters Admin can attest. Our city attorney, Ronna Hodges, was present in the 7/7/26 session and remained silent in her seat. She did not address the Commissioner's Court in regards to Hot Cove's position during public comments or asked to be placed on the agenda to speak on the city's behalf. I, as Mayor Pro Tem of City of Hot Cove, was not inactive in my voice to notify my Mayor, Darren Evans, and City Secretary, Angela Massey, via email on 6/24/26 with a follow-up the next day with delivery receipt, and requested a special session be held on 7/6/26 regarding the ESD due to the petition deadline, in order for our citizens to be able to vote on the November 2026 ballot. There was also another council person who sent in a request for a special session in the same subject. Both of our requests went unanswered. Our multiple fire chiefs that service our community and Fire Chief President of Hunt County were denied their request to be placed on our Hot Cove agenda so the city council could interact and ask questions. Instead, they presented themselves via public comment and passed out handouts to inform the council. We as a council were not allowed to act on the information received, as it was a public comment. I personally, out of concern for my neighbors and community, posted on my political Facebook page our multiple fire chiefs' written public comments to our city secretary, mayor, and council, and that of our commissioner, Gary Smith, from January 2026 to our city secretary, Mayor Spence, and to our council. All right, that's the 3 minutes, but I will pass this out to the commissioner so everybody can read the comments. There's a few paragraphs left after that.
Is it too late for them to cure any of that?
I believe so, because the election's been called. Now, we do have time in between now and the August 17th deadline, and so if they did take action to be part of it, that election process may be able to be amended. That's not something that I've looked at, but potentially it could be.
Do we have the responsibility to look at that, or it's up to them?
Well, it would be up to them to take action. I mean, the county doesn't have any jurisdiction or authority to get involved in that city's business. But if they did have another council meeting, I just have to look at the ESD statute to determine whether or not the commissioners can come back and change that before the August 17th deadline. The election's definitely already been called, and unless something changes, the city of Hot Cove and its entire ESD won't vote because that'll be cut out basically as a separate voting precinct. If they do meet and vote to become part of that, the fact that we're past 60 days may prevent that from becoming legally effective in the first place. I just don't know without looking at that.
Do we have number 2 on the agenda today, or is it just number 1?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Only number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
ESD number
Double checking.
1 is in executive session, I believe.
Yeah.
And that, and so the current approval is required by the 17th of August, but that's,
From this court to call an election, yes.
and so the current meets and bounds that will be called on that date is excluding Hawk Cove.
And it's ETJ, that's right.
And so that would have to change between now and before the 17th to make the adjustment by the 17th?
As of the 17th. The 17th itself is the deadline. So at the end of the day on the 17th, no election can be called for November. Not without special things happening through court, which aren't going to happen.
Okay. So, because I know I'll get a call. So the answer is, if they would like to bring it back up at their council, take action, pro or con, doesn't matter. We will see if it's legal after the 60 days for that to be considered.
That's correct. And I can, that's just something I haven't researched, but I can look that up as we sit here today. I mean, that's not going to be a complicated question about whether or not they still have authority to do it. And in fact, I mean, if the council asks to be part of it, I think the real complication here is just going to be making sure that we have enough time to call a special meeting, because that definitely doesn't count as an emergency. And so you'd have to have the regular 5 business day posting time, and then we'd need to get the appraisal district to recalculate the tax impact of that area, which won't be difficult. It's just gonna, I mean, it exceeds my ability to do things.
Yeah.
I remember that during all the discussions that any city could opt out or an ETJ could opt out at a later time. Can they opt in at a later time too?
Yes.
Okay,
In fact, that happens quite a bit.
okay. So they're not barred out of the thing and if we don't do something.
That's
They
right.
still
They'd
have
just be
that.
barred out until the people down there pass a petition asking to be brought in.
Okay, so they got recourse at least.
That's right.
But it
Okay.
would solely be based on their area's vote at that time, not the
Right. But
large
I'm
area.
That's
glad
right.
they got recourse. That's what's concerning me.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Being none, I'll close the public testimony again. No old business, new business. Commissioners, you got the consent calendar. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. B, action items, approval of accounts payable.
Motion to approve payables?
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of line item transfers.
Motion to approve line item transfers.
Second?
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of budget amendments.
Motion to approve budget amendment?
Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Approval of payroll and personnel.
Motion to approve payroll and personnel. Second.
Got a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 1, the treasurer's monthly report for May 2026. Brittany?
Good morning. In your packet, you will have the treasurer's report for month-end May 31st, 2026. We had a month-end balance of $69,894,007.68 in cash and invested funds. Everything has been balanced between the auditor and the treasurer. All bank recs have been reviewed and approved. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yep, thank you.
Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second?
Got a motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 2, presentation health insurance from Nishi Group. George is not here, is he? Table that to the next meeting. Just so the court, I think we've already discussed it. Our health insurance is staying at the same rate as it was last year. We have the letters from them. I thought he was coming today to make a presentation, but our health insurance did not go up this year. Action number 3, findings on the petition, discussion and possible action to make findings under Texas Health and Safety Code 775.017 regarding whether creation of the proposed district is feasible and will promote the public safety, welfare, health, and convenience of persons residing in proposed emergency service district number 1. Daniel?
Okay, items 3, 4, and 5 have also been added to the special session agenda on Friday. We don't have, I literally about 5 minutes ago just received final pieces of information that I'm going to need to fill in this item number 3, the findings on the petition, which is I got 2 resolutions from the City of Josephine, city manager, one that cuts out 3 areas in Hunt County that would be in ESD number 1 that are MUDs. And then she sent me some other information about an industrial district area that covers that area. But I need to look through both of those and then send those to the appraisal district so that they can go through the same exercise that they did for Hot Cove.
So they're excluding 4 areas?
I think 3, and the 4th is a big overlay district. I don't think I didn't know about that until I read the email just now, but I don't believe that has any impact on the ESD itself.
Okay.
But now that I have all that, and I also spoke with Lee Wells this morning. He's working with the ESD organizers and getting a couple of other pieces of information about their ISO, which are necessary to go into that agenda item number 3. So all 3 of these should be ready to go on Friday, and we can finalize that and call the election for that one as well.
So we can just take no action, we don't have to do anything else because it's on the other agenda?
That's right, for 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. Any questions on that before we move on? Everybody good? Okay, we'll skip 3, 4, and 5. Action item number 6, a resolution authorizing Hunt County to make a grant to the Senior Center Resources and Public Transit Organization amount of $5,000 for the Texas Feeding Texas Home Delivery Meal Program. Commissioners, that's for the Meals on Wheels, their local group that's delivering all the food. That's our match to get the COG and all in the state to fund the rest of it. So entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 7, approval amendment number 3 to the IMM Locals Contract HHS 001-331-30043 between Department of State and Health Services and Hunt County Health Department Medical Services Health Clinic. This amendment increases the contract by $283,903, extending the contract term to August 21st, 2027, and revises certain attachments to the contract. Commissioners, got any questions?
We're increasing our
Yes, Bob Brady.
284?
How much are they increasing it? Not a whole lot, is it?
This is our grant that we get every year. We apply for it for the health clinic for the MU Local grant. This is basically accepting the contract, which is just extending it for another year. That's the same amount that we get every year. They're just, instead of putting a new contract number, they're just having the same contract number and amending it for each year.
Okay.
So this cost isn't a cost to the county, it's actually the grant amount then?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the grant amount, and it's Fund 26, if you ever want to look at it, and it funds the majority of the health clinic's payroll in French.
Yeah, we got this grant back in '05 or something, back in that
It was
time
before
frame.
me.
Yeah, it's back
Yeah.
at least 20 years ago, 20 years plus, and it used to cover everything, but it's never gone up, is my understanding, since we had got the original grant from the state. So we do now have to supplement to make it work.
Yes, we've asked if there was any opportunity for increase, and it looks like there's not. So,
That's the great way the state does it. They give you a grant, and then they never raise it after that.
yep, if you guys ever have any questions anytime throughout the year, we have backup and numbers at any time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 8, consideration and action on resolution adopting an interlocal agreement with the City of Greenville to upgrade portions of County Road 4103, partly in the city limits and partly in the county, and payment for same. Daniel, you want to brief us?
Just for that particular one, I'd need to discuss that in executive session
Okay.
before action.
Okay. So we'll move that to executive.
Yes.
All right, action number 9, discussion possible action to adopt resolution of Commissioners Court of Hunt County, Texas, supporting the enactment of the 90th Texas Legislature of proposed legislation creating the Hunt County Groundwater Conservative District, subject to confirmation by the voters of Hunt County at an election with no ad valorem taxing authority and no power of eminent domain, in discussion and possible action to authorize and direct the publication of notice, the delivery of copies of the proposed legislation, and filing of the proposed legislation with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality as required by Chapter 313 Government Code and Section 59, Article 16 Texas Constitution for the introduction of a local bill, including authorization of expenditures to require published notice and designation of the officials responsible for each required step. Daniel.
All right, on today's agenda, we've got 3 items, 8, 9, and 10, that are 3 different sets of proposed legislation. All 3 of these are part of a set of bills that the Commissioners Court's been working on for, or started discussing 3 or 4 months ago, maybe 6 months ago at this point, to address the public concerns about data centers. Because as it stands, for a lot of different reasons, counties are the ones who should be able to do something to address those concerns, because most of these projects are being built out in unincorporated areas of the state. But because of the way that the laws are written, counties lack power to do really almost anything related to them. And so we put together 14 proposed bills. We've already adopted one, I think 3 meetings ago. On today's agenda, there's 3 more. And all of these address the same type of projects, which are very large projects that are going to use 75 megawatts or more of power. And none of the 3, just so we can get these questions out of the way, none of the 3 creates any sort of zoning structure or creates a tax of any sort, or bans any project outright. They do other things, though. The first one that's on the agenda is the proposed legislation on the Groundwater Conservation District. And basically, the way things stand right now, I know there's a lot of concern about the use of water by these different projects. Hunt County doesn't have any legal infrastructure in place to regulate the use of groundwater, mostly because it's never been a problem before. Most of the water used in Hunt County is surface water. Almost all of it is surface water. Groundwater, because the county hasn't really relied on that, people have relied on it for well water in the past. Some people still use it for well water, but there's not groundwater in about half of the county in the first place.
Yeah, 2/3 of it probably.
2/3.
Is a bunch.
Yeah. And so there's, if you look at a map of all the water wells on the Railroad Commission website, there's a huge part of the county that's just a bunch of dry wells. This really would only apply to the other 1/3, 1/2 of the county where it's potentially going to be used for these big projects. As the law stands right now, there is no limitation on the amount of water that can be pumped if somebody comes in and puts in a large industrial project that is going to rely on groundwater. This is a little bit different than the other bills because it wouldn't be a statewide bill that would change the law for all 254 counties. It would just apply to Hunt County. It's a pure local bill, unlike the others. And so I'm going to kind of go over very quickly. I know that there's I sent out a copy of this. It's only a couple of pages long, the legislation itself. I think it's 2.5 pages. It'd be longer in final form because it's got to be double spaced. But basically, what the resolution that's in front of you does is approve the legislation in its draft form, and then asks our senator and representative to sponsor it, to get it passed in the upcoming Texas legislative session starting early next year. If you did do that and they did pass it, it would still require an election to confirm it. And so it would have to be passed by the legislature and then come back for a subsequent election for the people in the area to approve it. It also requires 5 temporary board members that would then be subsequently replaced at the first election. But basically, what that would do, if it was established the right way, would give the Groundwater Conservation District Board authority to regulate to make sure that there's not over pumping. Historically, that wasn't an issue in the state. It certainly has become lately, not necessarily for data centers, but
It's a
on
big
the
deal.
southern part of the Ogallala Aquifer in the Panhandle. There's been massive overpumping to the point where they're having huge problems out there. We don't have that yet, and we're not part of that aquifer. We have 3 different aquifers here. And it's not an issue yet. What this would be for is to kind of future-proof the county in case a big unexpected project comes in, the exact same way that all of these have come in. Because if the infrastructure doesn't get put in place this time, it'll take 2 more years before there's even a possibility of it going into place. So the legislature's not going to call a special session so Hunt County can have a groundwater district.
We were at a conference last week, and this was a subject of one of the topics, I guess. And I know, of course, some of them in East and South Texas, they've got huge districts where it's multiple counties. And they've got landowners there that have a tremendous amount of water that are trying to sell it back into cities or wherever they can sell it. And they've been able to stop it for most of that part, but we don't have it, and our adjacent counties don't have it. But I heard that Hopkins County and Wood County, and it was Rains also considered wanting to go with us. Would we be better off trying to get all of those adjacent to us? And make
Potentially.
one big district instead of just us having a district? Would that be?
It would be much more likely to pass through the legislature.
That's what I was
for
thinking.
sure. Yeah, because especially with those counties, you'd be looking at 3 different senators and potentially 5
Right.
county representatives, or state reps.
Did y'all hear the same thing I heard? I mean, is that pretty close to what y'all heard?
Yeah, but I yes, simple answer, but they can also add later as well, right? After
I don't know
district
the
is
answer to
set
that
up.
question. I think that the answer is yes, but I'm not 100% sure about how that process works.
But they can all get their representatives in Austin and us, and we got a better chance of passing and getting it rather than us on our own.
Yeah, I think, and of course, you know, the resolution committee that Mr. Harrison's the commissioner, or chair of, actually submitted that for all of the county's consideration for that. But I agree with you. I think we should contact commissioners and things, neighbors to us, to see if they would be interested in taking this forward as well. Daniel, is there any problem in us making those contacts for their engagement?
There's definitely no problem in making the contacts, and you can. I mean, there's not a super short fuse on this. I mean, it's relatively short because we're heading into the season where all these bills are going to be passed or filed in the first place. But there's definitely some time to do that, and I mean, this can be pushed to the next agenda.
Yeah, or even to the fall. I mean, as long as we got it in
Yeah.
September or so, it would be okay, probably.
Yeah, as long as it was, by the end of September,
Yeah.
the first meeting in October, you'd still be on basically the same legal ground.
Yeah.
I will say Commissioner Northcutt in Rains County and Judge Newsom in Hopkins County did receive this resolution last week that I gave to them as
Okay.
well. So hopefully they can, they'll support it as well. They sounded like they would.
Can you send it back and ask them if they join with us and have a bigger district instead of smaller?
I'm not mistaken, Van Zant County as well said they would be
Yeah,
interested in it.
Bosque County also.
I think Wood County said something.
Wood
too.
County also. There were several
There's
counties.
several counties that are all adjacent to us or adjacent to adjacent counties to us that were talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we're all in the same basins, though. We'd have to look at the maps and see. I think we are. For sure,
Well-
Hopkins County and Fannin and Lamar probably for sure all are, I think, if I remember how that,
It was a straight line across the.
it came
started
across
with
and
us
went
and-
down. Yeah. And I think that's Natchitoches, was that the one? I think that's
Yeah.
what it was.
There's multiple ones,
Yeah,
especially
there-
if you get further to the
East,
east.
yeah.
Because we're right where we stand, we're right kind of on the line of one of them. And it goes up into the northeast, and then there's a Natchitoches as a bigger one that also comes down further.
By the time it gets us, it's just a real narrow.
Yeah, that's the recharge area,
Yeah.
and then there's, but beneath that, there's a separate, they're kind of layered,
Right.
and I can't remember what they all are. But it doesn't have to be, it can cover more than one aquifer.
Right. So if we pass this, then we can revise it later, or we just better to wait and,
Well, if you're gonna look at working with the others, it would probably be better to wait on this. You can pass it, and if the other ones don't want to cooperate, don't want to be part of one bigger one, then you can just keep that in place, or you can come back and change it later on.
what's y'all's pleasure?
I'd rather go ahead and make sure we get it passed, not that we wouldn't, but I'd rather go ahead and
I'd rather pass it.
get it
Okay,
passed.
that's fine with me. All right, entertain a motion to approve action item number 9.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 10, discussion and possible action to adopt a resolution of the Commissioners Court of Hunt County, Texas, supporting the enactment by the 90th Texas Legislature of proposed legislation granting counties express authority to enter into, record, and enforce development agreements concerning data centers and other high-impact development in the unincorporated areas of the county. The discussion and possible action to authorize county judge with assistance of counsel to initiate and conduct negotiations towards development agreements with the developers of any proposed or anticipated data center or other high-impact development in Hunt County, addressing roads, drainage, fire protection, noise, water use reporting, financial assurance of decommissioning, and related subjects, with any resulting agreements to be returned to the Commissioners Court for approval in open session.
Okay, this one is a completely different subject matter, but still relates to data centers and other very large projects with that same definition, ones that are going to use 75 megawatts of power. It's more than the whole city here put together. But this would change part of the government code, the local government code, to add a new chapter, chapter 239, which would give counties the same power as cities to enter into development agreements. Development agreements are probably the single most powerful tool that cities have to regulate development in a way that is enforceable. Right now, the county could, in like the county's seen, developers don't have to do anything with the counties at all. They don't even have to come talk to the counties. There are disadvantages that go along with that, including if they come in and do a lot of big construction and they tear up a road when they're doing it, or cause other sorts of infrastructure problems, that they then can potentially be liable to the taxpayers through a county suit. This type of development agreement would address those things beforehand. The county just has shaky legal authority to do it at all. Cities have Chapter 212 of the local government code that allows them to do deals based on, basically before any construction starts, addressing road repairs, drainage, fire protection, and buffers for noise and things like that. Counties don't have any real authority to do that. What this would do is basically to add an entire new section to the local government code that would give all 254 counties the ability to enter into that sort of development agreement. Other than that, I mean, it's basically putting counties on the same legal footing that cities are on through Chapter 212 development agreements, which the city of Greenville uses every day. That's how the big developments out on the interstate are built, with an upfront understanding of where the roads are going to go, where all the other infrastructure is going to go. Right now, the counties have zero ability to regulate any of that, which longer term, especially as the county starts filling up with developments over the next 20 years, puts the county in a really bad planning position that could be changed if there was a new section allowing this. There hasn't been any effort in the legislature to push anything like this ever before that I have been able to find. In fact, it's been the general flavor of the legislative push over local government regulation has been the opposite of this. But that's led to an unintended consequence because nobody really saw this kind of development coming. And so this is a very big ask, but I think that the direction that the state is headed politically, especially related to data centers, would garner some support for this.
Oh, they're going to try to blame us now for it. They're going to give us the authority and then blame us for everything that happens instead of them.
Well,
That's my
this
guess.
would actually allow, though, local government, the county level local governments, to do some thoughtful pre-planning to, you know, if the county has a project that it doesn't really like or that people don't like, but that the county can't otherwise stop, it at least allows some control with teeth, through contractual form teeth, to make sure that it's not worse than it otherwise would be. Because the only
It
thing
allows us to have
controlling-
a standard.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, effectively, I mean, it doesn't allow you to have an enforceable standard that applies against everyone, because the way this is written wouldn't require them to sign a deal like that. But it allows the county, if there's anything that they are going to need, like subdivision of the property or permits, culvert permits and septic permits, anything like that, then the county has some teeth to require it then. If they're going to use a property, you know, if somebody buys a warehouse that already exists and doesn't change anything with the property, this still wouldn't allow the county to do anything with that kind of project. But that's super unlikely. I'm not aware of any existing building in the county that's big enough or has the right kind of electric or utility hookups to manage that type of load.
So you're thinking this is only going to be pertinent to data centers and something similar it wouldn't affect if, say, we had a big warehouse wanting to go out on the interstate in the county just for, like an Amazon, just going to ship out of it? Would we have
No.
any control over something like that?
It wouldn't, because those types of warehouses generally have solar on top to provide light on the inside, or they have see-through panels. They definitely don't use 75 megawatts of power. In fact, even
So that's
the
going to be the
biggest,
controlling factor?
that's the way that this is written, is
Okay.
that this only applies to projects needing 75 megawatts of new load.
Okay.
So Daniel, is this something that we will be sending our representative and senator to try to get them to help us with?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like Commissioner Smith said a while ago, I did speak to Representative Ashby down in Conroe last week, and he does have a copy of some of these resolutions and willing to help out if our representative and senators will be on board with it as well.
Yeah, and the way that the ones I think he sent out, the only difference from those to this copy is that I added the county name and the date. Everything else is exactly the same. And so, I mean, none of these are going to go through without changes of some sort by either the committee or legislative council or through a floor vote. Or eventually, if there's changes and they're both different from the House and the Senate side, then there's a special committee that looks at that called a conference committee. And at every single stage, little changes can be made. And definitely with this one, there are special interests that will fight it. Zero question. And they're going to ask that little individual parts of that be taken out. And so I think it's more important that the counties that sign on to the general concept of it, because that'll allow for more leeway for whoever's carrying the bill or sponsoring it to push it through.
Daniel, I would like to recognize the work for all three of these, because I think the important part around what y'all are talking about when it gets to Austin is that this is not just a resolution that's written. I mean, it's an entire package that does the pros, the cons, it establishes the reasons and the explanations about the document, and actually creates the resolution, to go to Congress. So what you've created is something that is ready to go, that can be handed to somebody almost copy and paste like, so they can make edits. So the amount of effort for a legislator is substantially smaller here to start the creation process. I think that's important as well, because your likelihood of getting consideration, the less I have to do, I'm probably going to give it a lot more of a look.
Well, that and it's not just the legislators that are the issue. It's the other gatekeepers, specifically the two groups that look at the budgetary impact of different bills and the Legislative Council. Those are if either one of them has a problem with it, it dies. Like 94% of bills that were put forward last session. Not all 94% were because of those two groups, but the way that these were written comes along with, it's not just an idea or an ask. It goes through very specifically section by section of the government code and local government code and a bunch of other codes actually, and adds new sections or makes very strategic deletions and changes to other sections, so that the meat of the issue is reviewed by those two groups that can sign off that, yes, this is a big change, but it's not going to have any negative fiscal impact to the state. And really the only impact here would be, for this particular bill and several of the others, is to mirror the power that cities have and give that to counties, but only in a limited scope. Now, because there definitely has been some pushback over the past 10 years, the past 5 or 6 sessions, to expand any sort of local government power, but especially for counties. This only applies, and this whole package of bills only apply to these big projects, and most of which are just going to be data center projects.
Thank you.
So this, just to go over the things that this can cover, that we haven't talked about, can cover roads and bridges, drainage, setback, buffers, screening, which is not something the county has any control over right now, shielded lighting, and noise limits. Basically, all of the things that have been brought up in previous meetings as potential problems with data centers here and around the state, really around the country. All of those things are directly controllable through the proposed new section 239.052. And I know this bill is very long, but it's all of those things are kind of listed out in a permissible terms section that goes into detail on all those different things. What that's likely going to result in, if this bill does get picked up and goes in front of the legislature, is that certain parts of that are going to be cut by special interest lobbyists who are going to come in and ask, because they know that nobody's going to just want to cut the whole thing. But there's a lot of different things in here in order to, generally provide a target-rich environment, so everybody gets a win.
All right. Any other questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 11, discussion and possible action to adopt a resolution of the Commissioners Court of Hunt County, Texas, supporting the enactment by the 90th Texas Legislature of proposed legislation requiring the developers of data centers and other high-impact development to enter into road use and maintenance agreements with the host county, secured by financial assurances, providing for pre- and post-construction surveys of county roads and repair of construction damage at the developer's expense. Daniel?
All right, similar to the last bill, this basically covers in a whole of changing the county's leverage to prevent all of our taxpayers from paying to damage for a single development from a fix it after the fact position to be able to require that road use agreements fix it before it happens. Right now, the county doesn't have direct authority to do that in a way that's necessary to force the issue. What the county does have is the ability to sue after the fact, but that comes with one big problem, which is that you're having to sue a group, number one, by paying your own attorney's fees, because there's no way to get attorney's fees from that. Texas has a very narrow scope of types of cases where attorney's fees are required, and this is not one of them, which means the county has to spend other taxpayer money to pay the lawyers to even get that money back. Number two, most of the developments for very large projects are series LLC groups that set up specifically just to do that construction. They get the money in, they pay all their people, and then they just go out of business. So there's an evaporating set of targets that the county can even go after, even if the county was to go after one of these groups. And that's not a question of whether they do that. They 100% do that sort of procedure. So for the same, this covered development road use and maintenance agreement legislation covers that specifically for these high impact facilities, which we know are coming, and basically allows the county to require that those groups, before they start construction, enter into an agreement to that would require them to record the status of the road and then to with photographic or video evidence, and to work with the county to maintain it during construction, and then to pay for the county to fix it back to its original condition after construction. But it also comes along with insurance, the county's ability to require insurance for that and a bond. Currently, the county doesn't have that authority. The county doesn't even have that authority to change the subdivision regulations to add that in as a subdivision requirement. This bill would basically add in a new chapter 246 of the local government code, to require all of those things for a high impact project like what we're talking about, and allow us to do what's been done sort of piecemeal over the years with solar farms and with the new dam construction up on the lake, the next county over. Ralph Hall. Those were the construction groups with those companies did do deals with the county so that we could address that, but they didn't have to do those. They could have let it sit until the county came back and said, hey, you caused $5 million of damage, so we're going to sue you now. Most of the good and experienced construction companies are going to know that that's an issue and try to nip that in the bud and do it early on the right way. But I think, as we've seen here before, the data centers, the people who are the middlemen, who are kicking the tires to try to sell data center projects to bigger companies, are here to move fast and break things and figure out the cost of it later. And none of those people are going to have any money to pay for the roads that they damage after the fact. This bill would allow the county to do what cities basically already have the right to do and require those road agreements up front.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Entertain a motion for approval of action item number 11.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 12, discussion and possible action to direct the county clerk to prepare and transmit certified copies of each resolution adopted by the Commissioners Court at this meeting concerning proposed legislation relating to data centers and other high-impact development to the governor, the lieutenant governor, the Speaker of the House, the members of the Hunt County State Legislative Delegation, the Standing Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives with jurisdiction over such legislation, and the Texas Association of Counties.
All right, I know this one probably seems weird, but this is because there is no mechanism in Texas government law that just because you pass the three things you just passed causes the transmission of those things to this group of people. This is basically the same group of people that the petition from a few months ago was transmitted to. But without having something like this in place, there is nothing to kind of memorialize the fact that the commissioners are now the commissioners court's asking that these people take notice of this and to push it forward into this next legislative session. And so if you approve this, basically I would work with Becky's office to get a package of these three things together in final certified form, and then to send those electronically and in hard form to the group of people that are listed here.
Okay, any discussion? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item 13, fiscal year 26-27 budget. Commissioners, I think we delivered to y'all some info on potential raises, and we have a deadline. It's supposed to be the law says I have to propose a budget by August 31st, which is Friday, or as soon after as possible. So I need some action today so we can start to wrap up all of it, and then we have another meeting on Friday to continue that, so that if we can get a consensus on what we're looking at as far as raises to our employees, or no raises to our employees, whatever the pleasure of the court is, then it'd help expedite us completing the paperwork for the budget. So I think we sent out for several different, from 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5% was the highest, I believe. And there was, we caught that the time frame that one of the spreadsheets was done prior to a position being removed from the budget, and then the merging of the road crew into the precinct. So it changed it, but the one you got from, it was Mary's spreadsheet that had the total of all those different amounts was within just $1,000 of being what we came up with today. So it's pretty accurate. So that number, not the big long spreadsheet, the summation that Mary had on hers that was sent to you. So any comments, ideas? What's the pleasure?
So the submittal that you have to make is a cap, a ceiling budget?
Yeah, if we can't go above, we can come down, but Daniel, make sure I'm telling you, yeah. If I propose a budget or a tax rate, that can come down, but it can't go up. If it goes up, we got to repost and redo everything. We got to start all over again.
So certainly for me, since I'm wanting everybody else to jump here, I won't repeat all the numbers, but here 2 or 3 courts ago made reference when we were talking about raises, just about, when you start talking about 3% raises, you know, and just the cost of fuel, that it doesn't even cover that for our folks to come to work with what the increase in fuel has. So that by itself is not adequate. I know we, you know, a lot of people would like to have 10% and 20% and all those names, and heck, probably by the way things are going, I know what I pay for a gallon of milk. So, but to me, I don't see how we don't have a conversation that's not at least 5%. I just don't see that. I don't know if the others.
I think the national is 4.2, 4.3, excuse
Inflation
me,
rate.
something like that. It's an inflation rate.
Current.
Yeah,
For
currently,
this
right
year,
now.
winter, yeah.
So I'm kind of like Commissioner Smith. It's got to be that at least 5, I think, for us to be able to do anything.
But we didn't run numbers higher, but we can if you want us to throw a higher number out. I mean, that's, I need some direction because we got to propose.
Well, and then, of course, you know, last year not doing anything, you know, for obvious reasons, I think we've got to do a little bit more this year, just to try to somewhat make up for last year, but also keep up with the national, you know, keep up with what it is right now currently,
Right.
which is probably going to go up even more, unfortunately.
At least for a while. Any comments on this side of the court?
Do we have an idea what the rate looks like with, I think new money, we only have less than what, $1 million on new money coming in?
On the tax rates,
Yes, sir.
we don't have them yet.
On,
We
But-
should be, I'm guessing that we're gonna be real close to last year. The tax base last year is about the same. I think it went up $100 million. So the tax rate, the confusing part, you know, is that 10-page calculation sheet they gotta go through. And so, and with the taxes, when new value comes on, it's not in the calculation of the tax rate. So that becomes new money for a government. But then next year it gets rolled in to it. So last year we're the same as we were last year, but now we get new money rolled into it. So that may change a little bit. I'm not,
So we don't really know the answer.
don't really know. I think it's going to be real close to the rate we had last year, but I don't.
But if we propose a 5% and we don't have the money, we're not,
We can go down to 4. The big thing is, if
We all wanna
what
give
we
everybody
propose, we
raises.
just can't, we don't want to get into it and get to the end of August or September, and then we got to repost it, and then we got to post it for 10 days, and you got to get it to the paper only runs 3 times a week now, so you got to get it in the paper ahead of time to run 10 days, so it can be a lot more than 10 days. So it's critical that we make a decision of a target of what we'd like to do, and if we have to pull off of it because of the finances, then we just can't go up without having to repost everything.
I don't think there's anybody on the court that's not willing to give everybody a raise. I think
No,
everybody
I
wants
agree.
it, but we don't want to break the county either.
Exactly.
I'm fine with a 5% proposal.
I'm good with it. I'd like to see what the numbers are gonna look like
Of
for,
course.
you know, we've got, our final numbers, what I'm talking about,
Oh,
the budget that we have to cover. We've made several cuts, and I know we've had to add a few things that were mandated by the state and things like that. So I'd like to kind of see, I'm not opposed to saying 5% right now, if we can adjust that if need be.
We can adjust it down. That's all I'm asking for,
Yeah.
so we can get to that finalization. I've got our tax office has got all the information. They'll probably have it to us, I would guess, today or tomorrow, so we will know some rates then, but and we still got a few to make their presentations on Friday. We've got most of the others in the computer except for payroll. So we got most of all of the revenue except for the taxes put in that we know about. So we got a lot of information. We just don't have all of it yet. So hopefully we can wrap it up pretty quick.
So I just for fun, I don't have my numbers in front of me. I didn't bring that big package. What was the dollar value of a percent change?
On 5%,
Yeah.
it's $1.4 million.
Well, I mean, just from 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. What's $1 million cost you?
About 300,000.
300,000 for every.
1% you add about 300,000. So right now, if you were going to go higher, just add another 300.
So if we're setting a ceiling, like you said, we can always come down, right? Any reason not to do 6?
just caution everybody, the employees especially, we're not saying that's what it's gonna be.
That's true.
I don't wanna get everybody all excited that they're getting even the 5% is a caution. It's not, it's just a target that we're gonna try to get to. If you think that a 6 is a target we should try to get to, then I think that's fine. But employees can't count on
Think
that.
that's a stretch too far?
Well, the good thing is if we do say 6, we can always come down to 5, 4, 3, whatever we need to do. We just can't go up. So, and it's not set in stone, obviously. It's just a starting point for us to work at. What was that?
So was that 4, 8, or 16? I saw you flashing and I was trying to.
Yeah, I'd rather start a little bit high and be able to come down versus starting at the bare minimum, the only thing we can do. So I'm not opposed to that.
I'm all ears. Just give us a number so we can get them in the books, and then we can figure it out.
What's the right side have to say?
It's a ceiling, guys. It's a ceiling.
I understand. 6% is fine with me. I want to reiterate, this is not what we're given. We're just setting ceilings, and if we
It's a
can't do
starting
it,
point,
don't
something to
do
work
that.
at.
Huh?
It's a starting point, somewhere to work, start working at.
Exactly.
We got to give
It's a
him some
target.
kind of direction.
It's a target, and it's moving. What about you, Mr. Jones?
You gonna cut your budget so we can get more raises?
No, but I'm just curious what the purpose in me having a presentation for on Friday, if we're way below what I'm asking for or what I am not asking for.
No, I think, it's because we don't know the numbers of what our rate can be. We don't know what the revenue's gonna be. And now, if the guesstimate we have, I think, is gonna be pretty, we've cut some things, as some of them said. We cut some positions, we blended some departments together. I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape. And if your ask, it depends on how big your ask is, but if you got an ask, there's still probably some room in there, I hope.
Yeah, there's some room. You're closing the doors though pretty tight.
No, we're not, I'm just trying, we gotta get this thing filed as soon after August 31st as we can. So sometime in the middle of next week, I wanna try to get this thing filed and get it to the paper and get it to where we can start having public discussion about it. But I wanna hear from you, on
And
Friday.
Sheriff, for me, because it's a good question, you have a lot of other costs as well. And so, because very interested on Friday in those costs that you've got that you have to do, right? You've got things that, whether the states impose something on you or some cost that you have to get consideration for. So we certainly want to make sure we understand that as we start talking about what the overall budget is.
Well, Chair,
My proposal on Friday though, and the reason is I'm trying to educate, because there is a group of commissioners up here that, there's one that I know knows law enforcement a little bit, or a lot, but the rest doesn't, and what we're into in the county and everything like that. And that's what the presentation is for, is to try to educate on what we need. And I don't think this is gonna, we may need or we may not need, but I do want to educate and I do want an answer after my presentation. Thank you.
Well, Sheriff, soon as we can, when we can get everything compiled, we can give real numbers, and then we can have real discussions. But until we hear from you, we can put it in as a proposed, see where the numbers fall, and then we'll discuss it and see where we go.
Remember, you can go down.
I thought you'd want us to go up. All right, so do I even need a motion on that, Daniel? It's just for a proposal? I don't really need everybody's in agreement. We'll put 6 into the computer and we'll see how all of it falls, and then we can talk about what it's gonna be later. Everybody okay?
I'm good with it.
All right. Is there anything else in the budget besides the
Just
sheriff?
setting the number.
Anybody got any other comments about budgets besides the sheriff?
I do, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Why not? I've already done it.
Well, now's a good time to do it. anything y'all can tell us that you got in mind that helps us to formalize our proposed budget's a big help, so. All right, move on to action item 14. The request to replace electrical power distribution lines that will cross County Road 3501 in Precinct 3 under normal stipulations.
Motion to approve under normal stipulations.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 15, a road frontage variance request in Precinct 2. Brian, you want to brief us?
Okay, I was contacted by a homeowner out in Precinct 2 who's wanting to convey his daughter a little property there on his home, and he's a little bit short on road frontage to do what he's wanting to do. So he's got 150 feet set aside for his daughter, which would make her track legal, and then that would leave him with about 161 feet of frontage. He'd require 275 by regulation. His property's kind of configured oddly. It's got a cemetery on one side, and it kind of wraps around the back side of the cemetery. The two lots, the lot for his daughter and the lot that he would be retaining, frontage-wise, match the area. It's not out of the ordinary. It's not odd. There are other lots with similar frontages there, but that's kind of what we've got. This is down in the Van Sickle area, and Mr. Helton is here to speak if y'all have any questions for him as well.
And this is family to family, you said, Brian?
This is family to family. That's correct.
And they're landlocked with the cemetery?
They're not landlocked, it's
Not
just
landlocked.
adjacent to it.
Frontage is,
The frontage keeps them from going in that
That's
direction.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And the cemetery, it's an old cemetery, and it's had, I believe the property that Mr. Helton owns, I believe the previous owner had actually given some of the property, some additional property to the cemetery. So cemetery's kind of big, and it kind of cuts into the property, and then his property goes just around the back side of it. So it's an odd shaped track with the cemetery kind of jutting into it that takes away from some of his frontage.
So if this is allowed, they're not gonna be able to come back and be able to do any other kind of development out there on their property?
It would be really difficult to develop the backside of this property. One, it's wooded and it has some drainage across it, but it would require the construction of a road, dedication of a right-of-way to develop that property.
Okay.
Directly behind him is another development, no road access near, all private roads as well. So it's kind of pinched in there.
Commissioner Monroe, this is your precinct. Do you have any input, sir?
It was kind of tough, but, because I know we don't like doing variances.
Right.
But I looked at it, and if you took, like, he's got, like, right at 10 acres. If you take that front part, that's basically the usable land, 3 acres, and you split it in half like what he's wanting to do there, and you took the 7 acres out of the equation of it, it matches. On one side, the south side, there's a cemetery. On the north side, there's 2 lots that are roughly 3 acre lots there beside him, 2 to 3 acre lots. And then you have a big open lot that actually comes and L's back in there that's basically designed like his lot is. So, and then across the road, you basically have the same thing. You have 1.5 acre, 2 acre lots. So we're not creating anything out of the norm over there. It's going to fit the area. The thing about it is, and typically I would say no, it's family, it's going family to family. And then 2, the back part would be near impossible to ever develop that if Mr. Helton was to ever sell the property or, whatever happens and it went to someone else. You wouldn't be able to really come in there and develop that back part because it's all trees and it is a low-lying area that basically floods back there. So it's non-buildable back there. So what I did is I took that 7 acres in the back kind of out of the equation and looked at what if it was just this front part? And then he's got 311 feet, so he would have more than enough. If he divided it in half, he would have more than the footage that he needs up there. My opinion on it is I would grant the variance on it, but it takes 2 other people to decide that. So, but that's my choice on it, is I would grant a variance.
Well, I think you're right, David. It's a unique situation, and when we do variances, we try to make sure it doesn't affect a whole lot of other trade. It has to be kind of unique, and sounds like it's very unique, so it shouldn't be a problem for us in the future. Somebody coming to us and saying, you granted it to them, granted it to us. Well, no, you don't have the same set of circumstances, so.
And it's not a developer who's looking to get an additional lot
Right.
by this variance so he can sell it and make additional money. This is a family-to-family variance.
And that was mainly the key decision for me on it too, is because it is actually going
Right.
to their family. And so,
All right. Any other? Entertain a motion for approval.
so moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 16, the civil plans of Oakwater Shores and Precinct 3.
All right, we've actually talked about this subdivision before. This is down near the Oasis, if anybody's familiar with that area, Nautical Shores, the Oasis. I think it's a pretty neat subdivision. It's a pretty neat opportunity in a great area. And this is looking at the civil plans for their new construction that they're going to have to do. There's a letter in your packet from our engineering representative stating that it meets all of the engineering requirements as far as drainage calculations and figures and all that good stuff. So this would be approving the civil plans so that they can start rolling on constructing their new road and drainage facilities.
That was against the lake. Did SRA have to be, we have to get anything from SRA?
SRA's been involved
Okay.
from the get-go with their lease backs, and SRA determines what their lease backs
Right.
are and all that stuff. So SRA's been involved.
So there's no problem with SRA?
No.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
No, sir, I think this one's good. It's good, like you said, it's a good development in a good area. And the contractors have been nothing but responsive the entire time. They're doing everything they say they'll do.
Yeah, it was overall, it was 2 submittals of the plans. Their initial submittal with review and comments from the engineer, and then their corrected submittal that addressed everything, and that was it. And that's pretty rare. Usually there's 3 or 4 different reviews on a lot of these plans. So these guys they seem to be a pretty competent outfit.
All right. Entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 17, the replat of Lot 19 of Whispering Oaks, Phase 4 in Precinct 2.
Okay, this is it's a fairly basic replat lot. It was a 5-acre lot, went all the way through from one road to the other, and they're wanting to cut it into a 3-acre and a 2-acre with frontage on either road. So, and it will require a public hearing.
Right. Any questions? This time I'll open it to public comment. Anybody wishes to speak for or against replat of Lot 19 of Whispering Oaks, Phase 4, please come forward, state your name and address. Anybody online, by chance? No, there's not. Okay. Being none, I'll close the public hearing. Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 18, the final plat of the Estates of Lone Oak Phase 2A in Precinct 3.
Okay, this is a big one out near the county line between off the interstate, kind of south of the interstate. He has come in and built a new road and run new water lines and put in new infrastructure, and the next item is the public improvement compliance letter for the same subdivision, stating that we've inspected, looked at, walked it, and the commissioner's comfortable with it. So this is for the actual plat of, so that he can get started building and developing.
Any questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and second. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 19, a letter of public improvement compliance for the estates of Lone Oak Phase 2A and Precinct 3. Brian?
All right, this is the letter stating that the public improvements match the plans, they meet our requirements, they're up to snuff, and they've got the bond. I'm actually expecting the hard copy of the bond later on today, so that'll cover him for the first 2 years, so that he can start building.
So they'll start the clock when we get the bond.
That'll start the clock.
Yep.
Agree with everything?
Yeah, this one actually is what I define as what good looks like. From the roads to the
it's pretty
drainage to
nice.
everything. It's,
Y'all wanna see what a good looking subdivision looks like, and roads and public improvements, drive out there and look at it. It looks very similar to one up in Commissioner Harrison's precinct that was done by the same contractors. These guys do a good job.
Entertain a motion for approval of action item 19.
so moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 20, the final plat of Jayoni Edition in Precinct 4. I hope I said that right.
Said how I'd say it. So,
A good guess anyway, maybe.
pretty simple plat, meets all the requirements for frontage and all. It's on state road, and TxDOT has approved entrances for all lots. So.
Entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Action number 21, the final plat of Banks and Landreth Estates in Precinct 2.
And I would like to do just a little bit more looking on this one, guys. I'd request that you table it till the next meeting. We're not going to have a shot clock issue or anything.
Okay. Everybody all right with that?
Yep.
All right, we'll move action item 21 to the next regular agenda.
You need to vote to do that because of the shot clock issues.
Okay. All right, so entertain a motion to move this to the next regular session of the Commissioners Court,
To postpone action.
to postpone action. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I hope y'all get that in the minutes, right?
Thank you, guys.
Fumbled through all that. All right. All right, we will now adjourn into executive session under Texas Government Code Section 551071, discussion with attorney regarding interlocal agreements, silk stocking road work, ESD petition, and pending suits. Pinson, McAdoo, and Davis, and proposed data center regulations. It is 11:17, and we're in executive session.
you, Miss Landry? Good.
All right, we're back in regular session. It's 12:45. Is there anything else before the court today? Being none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion carries. We're adjourned at 12:45. Thank you, everyone.